Hi guys, welcome back to Module 8. In this module, we're going to discuss about how to read data, specifically from Excel files and also text files like in Notepad. So sometimes when you want to work in Python, you will get data sets from in Excel or in a text file. And in this module, we're going to discuss how we're going to manipulate them and how we can use them in our Python coding. So one key function I want to discuss in Python is the open function. So this function, it will take two parameters, which is the file name and the mode. And there are four different methods for opening the file, which are read, append, write, and create. So let's go through briefly what they do. So read, it's a default value, so it will try to read the file and it will return an error if the file doesn't exist. Append is you use this function or you use this command to open a file to add or change data, to append data, and it also creates the file if it does not exist. So write, you open a file for writing and also creates the file if it does not exist. And create, you are trying to create a file, and if the file doesn't exist, it will give you an error. And here you can see there's text and binary. So text is the default value and you use for text mode, for text. And binary you use in binary mode if you want to have images, other stuff. So before we move into reading text files, I want to highlight something important. So whenever you want to import a Notepad or a text file or an Excel file, you need to make sure that those files are in the same folder as your notebook. So if I change tabs and if I go here, you can see that right now I'm running this module. This is module 8 in English. And I also have my Excel file, my two Excel files, and also my text files. So sometimes when you're doing this module or when you're trying to follow this module and you're getting an error, when you run this Jupyter notebook, it says the file does not exist or something like that. Just make sure that all of them are stored in the same place so that you don't get this error. And also I would recommend before you go into this module is for you to look at the text file and also the Excel files so you can see what is it doing and what is it being imported. So for example, if you see in the Notepad, you can see that it has some names and also age, gender, some strings, and also some values. And similarly for the Excel files, you have the same thing, but in columns in the Excel format. And also we have energy data, which shows different energy consumptions in countries. So have a look on these files and then afterwards go back to the Jupyter notebook so you can see how they're related to each other and what's being imported. So I think that's important. Okay, now let's start to read a file. And in this first line here, we're trying to read a demo file, which is called demofile.txt. So this first line here is creating a variable and it's trying to open the text file. And we're trying to also print the output from the file that we read. And when we run it, you can see that the initial text document that I showed you, it had all these numbers, it had the name, the gender, and age of these different people. And then now it has been imported into the notebook. Okay, similarly, we can also import the Excel file, the text file using Pandas. And this is a DataFrame. And the command here is PD. So that is the syntax, .read CSV, and then this is the name of the text file. And then when we run it, we will also get a similar output. But now it's already sorted in tables and columns. Next, we're going to try to read the Excel files using Pandas. And we're going to use this syntax, which is pd.readExcel. And then this is the name of our Excel file. And then you can see this is the sheet name, which refers to which sheet in that Excel file. And then we're going to try to display the first 5 rows in this Excel file. And when we run it, you can see that we also get the similar output. We also get the different names of people and also their gender and age. So that is with the data Excel file. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the file, Excel file called energy data. And we're going to try to read this Excel file. And also we're going to have a look at the output and also we're going to have a look at the Excel file itself. So here, when we try to run it, you can see that we get these NaN or like null values that don't make a lot of sense. And this is where I think it's useful for us to look at the Excel file. And here you can see that in this Excel file, in the initial rows, it's empty. So the first row where you actually have data is in the 10th row. And when we go back to the notebook, you can see in the first 5 rows, it says unnamed and null values. So it means that it's importing the first 5 rows in the Excel files and there's nothing there, and that's why you get this output. So there's one useful function that you can use in Pandas, and you can tell Pandas to skip rows. And that is the syntax here, which is skip rows equals to 9. And then after that, the 10th row will be the header of the file, and then it will start reading the values of the inputs there. So when we fix the syntax and we add the skip rows and we try to import the data, so now you can see we get the proper headers, we get each country, the energy consumed, population, etc. And also we get the values assigned to these columns. Okay, so after running the syntax with the skip rows, we get the proper data from the Excel file. And suppose we are only interested in certain values or certain variables in the Excel file. So in this case, we are only interested in the name of the country, the energy consumed per year, and the population in millions. So the way to extract the information from these columns is by using the indexes, and we can use the ilog function here. So here you can see that when we do energy data and we're only selecting a certain part of it, we can use energy underscore data, which is a variable, .ilog, and then we put the index 0, 1, and 2. So this will refer to the column number and their indexes and what we're trying to import. So when we run this, we can see that here we get the number of countries. After that, we get the name of the countries, and we get the energy consumed and the population. So when you get an Excel file, you can also extract variables that you're interested in. So you don't have to take the whole data by itself. Afterwards, using a data frame. So what is the benefit of using a data frame? So data frames, it's useful because it allows you to analyze the data, and a useful function here is sort. So sort is a function that allows you to sort the data from lowest to highest, or ascending or descending according to what you want. And this is where you can manipulate the Excel file or the data that you imported from the Excel file. So here what we're trying to do is we want to sort the energy consumed in a descending, in the descending manner. So here you can see we write the syntax, sort the energy data, and then we're trying to sort the values by energy consumed. And then ascending equals to false. So it will give us the values in descending. And then we're trying to print the head. And this will give us the first 5 rows of the top 5 countries. And here you can see the countries and the energy consumed. And they're sorted in a descending order. So the highest values to the lowest values. Another useful function when you use a data frame is describe. So it's very powerful for statistics. So sometimes if you want to get the mean, the variance, or the average, so this will be useful to use the describe function, and it will compute the statistics of the numerical values of the column. So here we have the energy data, which is the Excel file, and then we use the command .describe, and then let's see what we get. And now it gives you the count, the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum values, the 25 percentile, the 50% percentile, and the max. So in case you want to use or compute basic statistics of the Excel file that you want to import, you can use the describe function to get all these values. So for example, the count, it shows the number of data sets that you have. So here it says energy consumed, so you have 10 values because you have 10 countries. And then this is the mean for the energy consumed, this is the standard deviation, etc., etc. So I think this might be useful if you're trying to compute this stuff in your Python coding. Similarly, there's also a function where you can convert a data frame into an array and vice versa. So now we're going to show how are we going to convert a data frame into a NumPy array. And this is the syntax. So we specify the name of the variable for the array, and then we do energy.data values, and then we try to print the array. So when we run it, you can see that now the Excel file that initially had all this information that we imported has now been stored into an array. So this is how you can also manipulate and change different data sets in Jupyter Notebook or in Python. And also, when the benefits of having it in an array is that we can also sort the data when we have the data in an array, and this is done by using this syntax, sorted array in an ascending order, and then we have arg sort, and this is in ascending order. But if you want in a descending order from largest to lowest values, and then you have to put the -1 as the index. So this will take the largest to the lowest values. And then afterwards, you can print the sorted array in a descending order. And then when you run it, you get the same thing that we did with the Excel file in Pandas in the data frame. You can see that we have the energy consumed. China is the highest value, and then it goes down all the way to the lowest one. And also we can convert back the array into a data frame by using the syntax pd.dataframe and then the array that we want to change into a data frame, and then we can display it. We can display the data frame. Yeah, so we can go from a data frame into an array, and then we can go from an array to a data frame, vice versa. It's up to you, preference-wise, whether you want to manipulate your data in an array or data frame. So I hope this was a good introduction about the Pandas library and also to data frames and how you can use different data sets like Excel files and also text files in Python. And in case you want to use all these different values, you have these options, and it boils down to what you want to achieve. So I think that's it. Thank you for joining us on Module 8. See you next time.